everyone, welcome to this video. I want to start off with a little story. I was having this conversation with somebody at church, and she was telling me just some of the problems and some of the issues that she was experiencing. And I said to her, I said, listen, you deserve to be happy and you deserve to have good friends. And immediately her demeanor changed because she almost shrunk into herself, and you could see that that word deserve was really triggering for her. What I've found is that it is a trigger for a lot of people, and I myself experienced it. And so I want to talk about the trigger itself and then give you kind of a little insight into how I overcame it, especially in business and in growing and all of those things. So let's dive into it. So before anything, I want to say you absolutely are worthy. You absolutely deserve the life that you want, whatever that is. You deserve it. You're worthy of it. I truly believe that the desires you have them for a reason, and it is your responsibility to lean in to figure out what that reason is, but you deserve them because you deserve them. There's no qualification. There's no justification. And there are some people that are going to disagree with that entire statement. And I don't care. I want to talk about my experience in understanding this in the time that I have been doing this work, because I didn't always feel like I deserved things. I didn't always feel like I was worthy of my dreams and worthy of my desires, especially when it comes to talking about money. I didn't feel like I deserved or I was worthy of making more money. And now that's a concept that I talk about a lot with my clients and even with myself. So to rewind and give you a little bit of background, I definitely came from circles and certain environments where the concept of worthiness was not something that you were. Like you were not worthy of anything good. You deserve death and nothing else. In some Christian circles, that is the conversation. I'm not saying in every single one. I'm certainly not bashing all Christianity because I'm a Christian, so it would be very difficult to do that. But I'm simply saying that in certain communities and in certain circles, you are not worthy of anything. And you saying that you're worthy of something is prideful and sacrilegious and essentially blasphemy. And I was in some of those circles that said, you know, you're a sinner and that's just who you are. And even after you have become a child of God, that is still what you deserve. And that's the problem that I have there, because once you are a child of God and you identify as being a child of God, we should not continue to identify with being not a child of God. And that was probably one of my biggest uncomfortabilities with that concept. I mean, this is even before I went to Bible school and got a master's degree in it. This is before, you know, I was doing any of the work that I'm doing now. I was always very uncomfortable with that concept because it didn't make sense to me. Like, once I am now a child of God, why am I still operating in the identity that says otherwise? And for a lot of people, they grow up and live in an environment that says exactly that you're a child of God, but apparently you still deserve hellfire. And that just does not sit very well with me, because, and I think about it from an earthly perspective, and there are Bible verses that even talk about this. If you have a parent that you would consider a good parent, and I recognize that not everybody has, you know, that experience of having good parents, and that's irrelevant. You either know someone that's a good parent, or you've had a good parent yourself, or maybe you are a good parent, right? You would consider yourself a good parent. Not perfect parent, just good parent, because you care for your child, you provide for them, and, you know, even though they don't deserve things, you still give them good things because you love and you care for them. So, and the Bible talks about this, I'll put the verses up here, but if earthly parents can do this, why would God not treat us that way when we are in fact called his children? And so that's kind of where I first came into this understanding and started to really think through the theology behind the identity that says I am just forever going to live in an undeserving state. And there are stories, I mean, you can look at the story of the prodigal son, for example, and how the father treated the prodigal son when he came back. It's not about what you did, who you were. It's about the identity as a child of God and what comes with that. And what comes with that are certain birthrights that you were entitled to. The story of the prodigal son is actually a great one because it illustrates completely how somebody can stray, go completely away, but they can come back and still be the father's son and be treated as the father's son with all of the accolades and accoutrements that come with it. And I just firmly believe that in myself. And it took me a long time to do that. And so more of the story, you know, I didn't grow up with an earthly father. My dad died when I was 7, but I had a really good mom. So I could still identify with what a parent would do, like a loving parent would do. It was difficult for me though to see God as my father in that way because I didn't have a framework. I didn't have, you know, a point of reference to identify that way. And it took me months to sit with this. To, you know, it's easy to understand God is like, you know, the creator of the universe, and God is the source of all things, and you know, all of that, like, you know, the organizer, the grand designer, the, you know, all of those ethereal, fluffy things. I could get into that. I could buy that, sold on all of that. God as Father treating me like a child, something completely different. Because even as a Christian, I was not taught what that truly looks like. God being a father doesn't mean that you just get air to breathe. Like that's enough. You don't deserve anything other than air. If you get air, good for you. That's all you deserve. No, God as a father is treating me the way that a father would treat a child. And I had to really sit with that to understand that. So when it comes to this concept of money and like you deserving more, you deserving happiness, you deserving your dreams, you deserving money, it's because of who you are. It's because of your identity. It's because of the birthright that comes with that identity once you understand that you are a child of God and what that looks like. Here's why this is something that I'm such an advocate of. Because it is dangerous to not believe that. It is dangerous to not live in that space where you truly understand your identity as a child of God. And I talk about this in the concept of money a lot because that is one of the topics that is kind of like taboo. No, everybody wants it, but no one wants to talk about it. Everybody wants it, but no one wants to admit that they want it because they're wrong. And they're like, I don't deserve. And that deservedness is like, you're never going to experience the life that you want to live if you don't believe that you are worthy of it. If you beat yourself up and think that you don't deserve good things and you can't have nice things and you do that over and over again, you're not going to experience the things that you want. And I understand, like, if years and years and decades of, you know, programming has told you that you're not worthy of anything, it's really hard to get on board with that. It's really hard to kind of believe that you deserve anything good. But I'm here to tell you that you do. You do because of who you are. You do because of whose you are.
So I wanted to put this disclaimer in here really quick because I didn't want anybody to be confused about words that I use like entitlement. We know who the source is. It's very important to know that. This is not a prideful entitlement. This is a humble entitlement. I know that without God, I wouldn't be able to have any of these things. And I am so thankful and I am so grateful that I get to be a child of God and I get to experience the things that I am entitled to because I'm a child of God. I did not create them myself. I did not give them to myself. They are mine and I get to have them because God gives them to me. He is the giver of good things. So I just wanted to kind of insert that before anybody, you know, took the word entitlement in a different direction.
So when it comes to following your dreams, when it comes to making more money, when it comes to being happy, when it comes to finding joy, when it comes to having the best relationships, having the best experiences, having the best job, whatever, when it comes to anything that you want, you have to truly believe that you are worthy of it for it to stick, because you will have experiences that you will think are happenstance. And if you don't think that you're worthy of them, something's going to happen that causes you to self-sabotage the whole situation. It happens all the time. I see it all the time because people don't step into their worthiness and they don't want to believe that they deserve good things. So I have a new masterclass series coming out called Money Vibes. And we're having this conversation around deservedness a lot inside of that course because it's something that people really don't get, especially women. We will fight tooth and nail to prove that we are not worthy of anything, to prove that we don't deserve things. And then we live in the guilt and shame of wanting more because we don't think that we're worthy of more. And I need us to get over that. Like I do. In order for you to live your highest and best life, in order for you to fully step into your purpose, in order for you to make whatever impact it is you want to make, you have to first believe that you're worthy of making the impact. You have to believe that you're worthy of achieving your life's dreams. You're worthy of living fully in your purpose before you can actually achieve that. So inside the masterclass, we're going to talk about this a lot, but I thought I would just come on here to just kind of share a story because I get it. Like if you're in the place where you don't feel like you're worthy because you've been told that you're not, or you don't feel like you deserve things because somebody told you that you're not allowed to, I just want to give you permission. Not that you need my permission, but sometimes it's good to hear. You are worthy of them. You are worthy of your desires. You are worthy of experiencing them. You're worthy of expressing them, and you're worthy of living them full out. So there's that. If you're interested in the Money Vibes Masterclass, please check out the link below. If you have any questions about this, let me know about that too. If you've ever experienced a time where you didn't feel like you deserved good things, or somebody told you that you didn't deserve good things, I would love to hear from you. Conversely, if you have been living your best life because you grew up in an environment where people said you deserve all the things all the time, then props to you. I would love to hear from you too. But yeah, so thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I will be back soon with another one. Talk to you later.